Welcome to this video demonstration of virtualroof.com and actremote.com. Thank you for your interest in our cloud computing services. We hope that this video will be very enlightening with regards to how our service works and that you would see the benefits to your company, like no more software to install, configure, or maintain, cuts cost, no more servers, no more IT consultants, and no more upgrades. Allows you to focus on core business and not IT, and US-based technical support by IT professionals. This video is in 3 parts. You should see part 2 on the right side of this YouTube website. If not, simply go to the email that we sent you or to our website and click the part 2 link. At any time you need more information, you can contact us by email at info@virtualroof.com or by phone at 407-965-0655, or you can go to our websites, virtualroof.com or actremote.com. Let's get started with the demonstration. Okay, to get things started, the first thing I'm going to do is go to the internet, and I'm going to use Google Chrome for that. You could use Safari or Firefox or Internet Explorer or pretty much any browser you want. And I'm going to go to our login page, which is cpaasp.com/login_frames.htm. Or you could just go to cpaasp.com and then click on the login link at the top of the page. This site is owned and operated by our partner company who manages all of our hardware inside our data center facility, as well as providing technical support to our customers. The first time that you come to this page, you'll need to go to the Downloads tab and download and install the client software that's appropriate for your operating system. This is a lot like installing an ActiveX control, or maybe the first time you go to meeting and you have to install a little client. It's the same here. It's just a small little client application that needs to be installed so our servers know how to communicate with your local computer. The downloads are for various operating systems. The very first one is for Windows-based PCs. The second one's for Macs. And the fourth one down is for Linux machines. We also support the iPad. And if you have an iPad and you want to log in using your iPad, if you go to the support button on the navigation bar and then go over to the left where it says iPad connector, you'll see the instructions for logging in from an iPad. It does require that you download and install the vWorkspace connector. It's a free app in the App Store. So if you just go to the App Store and do a search for V as in Victor Workspace, you'll find that app and you can install it. And again, that's a free app. Okay, I'm going to go back to the login page now. And once you've downloaded and installed these one of these client software applications for your machine, you can go back to the login tab and type in a username and a password. We have 4 demo accounts. They are act_1, act_2, _3, and _4. We're going to use act_4 today. And the password is let me in. It's all lowercase, all one word, no spaces. And we get what we call a portal page. This has an Act 2010 desktop on it, and notice there's a force log off and a VW test desktop. We're going to be using the Act 2010 desktop, and I just wanted to show you this same portal page on an iPad. So I'm going to click over here to my local machine and show you an image, a screenshot image of an iPad, and you can see the same exact icons here. And again, if you have an iPad, for those of you who do, you'll recognize this very top bar up here. You see the AT&T, you see the bars, you see the symbol letting me know there's a Wi-Fi connection here, the time of the day, and then the battery status. So just wanted to show that that's the screen that the iPad uses to log into the desktop. Now we'll switch back to our login page and our portal page rather, and I'm going to click the Act 2010 desktop. And what's going to happen now is it's going to launch a Windows desktop. And when it comes up, you'll see a start button, you'll see a taskbar, and you'll see the icons for the applications that we host. And this screen would be identical no matter what type of computer you're logging in from. We happen to be logging in from a Windows-based PC right now, but we could be logging in from a Mac, we could be logging in from a Linux machine or an iPad. And you'll notice here there's we're in now, and you'll notice there's a Word 2007 icon here. There's a PowerPoint icon, an Outlook icon, Excel, Act by Sage is on here, Access, Microsoft Access is on here, and my computer is on here as well. And again, I'm going to switch back to my local machine, and I do that by just moving my mouse up, and I get the little yellow bar that comes down, and I just hit the minimize button. And I'm going to go back to our image again because I want to show you the image of the desktop on the iPad. And as you can see, it's exactly the same image. If you look through here, here's Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, Act by Sage, Access, and My Computer. If you notice the little bar up here, that's a bar that's unique to the iPad. There's a keyboard button and a mouse button. And actually, the way when you click on the mouse button, you activate this little mouse, so it even has its own little mini mouse. But you can see the start button down here. So this is our virtual desktop running on an iPad, which means I have complete access to anything that my company has relative to software applications or data right from my iPad. Okay, I'm going to go back to our Windows environment, our live login, and I'm going to open up my computer so you can see what's on this machine. And again, this is our server login. So we've got on our server, we've got multiple drives that you can use. H, K, L, and S are all on the server. And then I also have my local drives mapped from my local machine. That means that I can copy files from my local machine up to the server anytime I want. So that if I've got a file, let's say and it's an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document or a PDF file that I want other folks inside the company to be able to see, I can move that up to my K drive and they can see that. Let's go over these drives real quick so we can get a little bit of an understanding of what each one of them are. This first drive, this H drive, is a personal private drive. It's only being able to be seen by the currently logged on user. In this case, act_4 is our current logged on user. If my name was John Smith, it would say J Smith on this drive, and only J Smith would be able to see what's on the H drive. The K drive is a company shared drive, and that's where you would put any files that you want the other members of the company to be able to see. And then there's an L drive, which is just part of this demo login, and you don't normally have the L drive on a regular login. And then the last drive is the S drive, and that's where we keep the ACT database. ACT likes to run in its own environment, and we have separate SQL servers for that. And so that's where we keep the ACT databases, and that's what the S drive is. I'm going to open up this K drive so you can see some of the folders in here. So we set up folders just like you would in any Windows environment. Again, it is a Windows environment, so you can create folders in here. We can also set on these folders permissions. Notice there's a QuickBooks folder on here. Oftentimes we have customers who use QuickBooks and only 2 or 3 people within the company actually have access to QuickBooks or should have access to QuickBooks, and so we can set permissions on a QuickBooks folder that only those 3 people within that company can have access to the QuickBooks folder. It still needs to be shared, so it has to be on the K drive in order to be shared, but we can limit who sees it. So we can set those permissions up any way you want for any folder you want. Okay, we've run out of time for part 1 of this demo, so if you'll go to your right and click on virtualroof.com demo part 2, we'll show you how to move files from your local machine up to the server and also run some applications so you can see how they run in this virtual environment.